So we're learning about Flexbox, and this is a little video to help you if you're somewhere in the world and you're catching this online. The code that we're using this course outline right here. Let me bring it up. Ba-doom, ba-doom. That course outline. And you can find all of the code we're using at GitHub, goes to 11. Repositories, HTML, CSS Bootcamp. That's the repo we're working out of. And follow me on Twitter to learn about web dev, front end and back end, among other things. Okay, dokie. So we've learned about align self. So we have a flex container. That flex container is the red one. This is align items. Align items works on the cross axes, which is vertical in this case. That means the primary axis is horizontal, where justify content is working. And primary axis horizontal means we have flex direction row. There's the flex direction for this flex container. And then align self, we're using align items flex in, but we did align self flex start. And so that code is right here, and there's the path to the code, 031, 02, 01. And you know, we are doing that code right here, container, flex items, align self, and we did, I think it was, maybe it was this one, flex start. So align self, flex start, right? Whereas align items is flex in. Just trying to do multiple selection here. Hold on, it's not doing it. So now we can play with this a little bit. So I'm just going to copy this code and bring it up here so I don't mess up the repo. And I'll put it in 09 spring, and I'll put it in as a 15. Okay, I just copied that. What happened? I'll put it in 15. We're just going to play with this. And this is one of the best ways to learn, is just play with it. So we got deviate. I've said flex basis, right? And flex basis, 500 pixels. Flex basis sets the width. I'm not going to set it yet. We're going to look at this page without it. So there's that page without it. And now watch what happens when I set flex basis. What is my width right now of my div? Can you all see that? 200 pixels, right? When I do flex basis, 500. So each of these are 200 pixels wide. Flex basis 500 for that one. All right, that's the beginning width, the basis from which we start. What about if I add FlexGrow to this 1? What's going to happen? You ready? Did you all see that? Here's without FlexGrow. Here's with FlexGrow. Whoops. Here's with FlexGrow. You ready? This is no FlexGrow. I've just said, hey, this one's flex basis 500. So width and flex basis, you can kind of think about them interchangeably, except, well, interestingly, before we make that statement, this is with flex basis 500. What happens if this is before it? Which one is going to be applied, flex basis or width?
Flex basis.
Why?
Oh. Because
The ID tag.
ID tag, higher specificity, right? CSS, yeah, you guys are rocking it. CSS specificity, calculator, right? If we look at that, we could see CSS specificity calculator, and ID is like the hundreds, right? So we get 100 versus just an element is a ones place. And so that's going to override it. So we're going to have the same thing here, right? I'm just going to put that back down there because it makes sense in my head. And then FlexGrow, when I add FlexGrow to this, so if there's room to grow, it's going to grow. Right? And now it's not growing because I hit 500 and it stays 500. That's kind of wacky. Some wacky effects going on there. Take some time to figure that one out. How could I prevent that from dropping all the way down to all those lines?
Flex wrap, no wrap.
Flex wrap, no wrap. So what about if I had, on this one, the ID mon da 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 manja. That's the word that came to mind for me. I couldn't think of any other one. It's Italian for eat. So 4 has FlexGrow 2. Take away flax-basis, meaning the width is going to be 200. All right, so now 4 grows twice as much. When we start out with each of them about 100, 4 is going to grow twice as much as 3 because it's got FlexGrow 2, and 3's got FlexGrow 1. So FlexGrow makes something grow. What about FlexShrink?
Makes it smaller.
All right, so we'll make this one FlexShrink 2. And we'll make the width on each of these 300. So we have a little bit, or 400, a little bit more room to grow. A little bit more room to shrink. Make them 300. So you can see this one grew more. They start out at about 300. There's about 300. And then that one grows more. And then when they get to 300 and they shrink, which one shrunk more? Right? This one, it has FlexShrink 2. So that's flax-basis, FlexShrink, and FlexGrow. So now take your code and play with that. Make it flex no wrap, and play with FlexGrow, FlexShrink, and flex-basis. Just so you're starting to get these flex items.